Hey, what the heck was that all about?
What is it, you stupid little brat?
You lied to me about how the date for the wedding had been changed, didn't you?
Ah, so you figured out that was just a lie.
I knew it. So you really were trying to lie to me there. Why? Why would you lie to me about details like that?
Well, there were some things that came up and changed the current situation for me. And that led me to wanting you to stay away from my wedding is all.
Wanting me to stay away? What happened that would make you want me to stay away?
Well, come on now. Think about it yourself, would you? The wedding's going to be one of the most important days for Piper and me, and I'd rather you celebrate our wedding from afar, if you know what I mean.
What the heck? I can't believe that you try and keep the little sister of the bride away from her wedding. Do you have any idea how much effort I've helped put into this wedding for you two?
What are you going on about there, Riley?
Well, it's probably better that you don't know what I'm talking about now. But anyway, Piper has asked for me to be there at the wedding and not to miss a thing.
Is that so? Well, even if she wants you to be there, I don't. I don't want you there for the sake of Piper's and my future together.
I am her little sister. I am a part of Piper's family. I am going to make sure I'm there on the day of her wedding for her, whether you like it or not, all right? What are you trying to do, Damian? I can't believe you're taking things this far now.
What? You still haven't gotten out of here yet? I don't care how many times you try and message me in order to get me to talk. I have a lot on my plate at the moment. There are very important customers here for me, and I can't be slowed down by you. I told you to get out of here, so scram!
Why are you trying so dang hard to get me to leave this place, Damian?
I don't want someone with the looks of you coming into this place. This wedding is meant to be a place for celebration, not disgust.
And I came here today to celebrate you and my sister getting married, just like the rest of the guests.
I'm the groom here, and I want you gone.
Are you kidding me? I am Piper's little sister, for God's sake. Do you not realize how bad things could turn out for you if she found out how hard you're trying to get rid of me?
You're nothing to me, and you're going to be nothing to her as well once this wedding happens. Do you really think I accept someone with a scar like that on her face as my little sister?
Wait, that's your reason for acting like that? You want me out of this wedding because of the scar on my face?
That's exactly right, Riley.
What the heck? How were you ever able to find a way to marry my sister of all people when you say things like that?
That's because she's madly in love with me. And that's the reason why today is a very, very special day for her and I. Do you think either of us really want you to be here, ruining the vibe at our wedding? With a hideous face like that?
So you just want me gone because you think I'm going to ruin your wedding with my looks?
Yep, that's right. I want you gone in order to safeguard my future with Piper.
No frickin' way.
Shut the hell up. I have a lot of things going on right now, and I do not need you here getting in my way any longer. Hurry the hell up and get lost. And once you're gone, don't you ever come back around your sister and me. I have a lot riding on my plate now, and don't need you here screwing it up.
A lot riding on your plate?
There's someone I'm waiting for. Someone very important to me that will decide the fate of my future. Someone who's very powerful in the world of music production. They're coming to this wedding today, as they happen to already know Piper. If I'm able to get on that producer's good side, then my dream of making it big won't be too far away anymore.
However, once anyone learns about the real person you're hiding under that mask, I don't think anyone will want you making it big.
The real person I am? I'm the perfect person, Riley. What about me am I hiding from others that would turn them off?
I'll tell you. You're the kind of person that thinks it's all right to do as they please. The kind of person that finds it completely all right to have me kicked out of my own sister's wedding just because of my looks. I cannot believe my sister is marrying a man like you.
You're just over-exaggerating things. I'm not doing any of this because I'm a bad person. Rather, I'm just trying to protect my future with your sister.
What future am I going to harm? I haven't done a single thing that would be harming your future with her. You literally were just over here kicking me to the ground and getting all my dress clothes dirtied. You've even gotten my hands scuffed up pretty badly by what you've done.
Ha! Who cares that you have a couple more cuts on your hands now? You already have that massive scar on your face, so nobody will notice a thing. Ha ha!
This is unbelievable. You have no right talking about me like that, Damian. I really should have made sure to meet with you before all this started. Then I would have had time to stop this wedding and make sure that you never got married to my sister.
Ha! Well, it's too late for that now. See ya!
The wedding will be starting at 11 a.m., okay? I'm sure you're already here, though, right? Yeah, I'm here. I was thinking of having small cheers before things kicked off, so perhaps you can start making your way over to me. All right, I'll be over to you in a little bit. Don't be late, all right? I want you to be here to join the cheers, and then after that, be ready to watch the whole wedding. I also want to show off my wedding dress to you. I'll be there for all of that, I promise. But why do you want me seeing everything? Well, that's because I care about you a lot, Riley. I feel as though you deserve to be around me on my biggest day so that I can show you how much I care about you, like you've cared for me. You're still going on about things like that? But I should. We don't have to talk about things from the past anymore, Piper, okay? This is supposed to be your big day, and I want you to be focused on that more than me. I know, but I want you to be here to see my dress before the rest of the guests do. I want you to see that this time I'll be all right. Then you can stop worrying about me for good and get back to focusing on your own life. Thank you for that. I didn't think you were that worried about my situation. But no matter how much you try and show me you're okay, I'm going to be thinking about you. You're my family, after all, and that's what we do for our family. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I'm going to continue doing everything in my power to make sure you're the happiest you can be. Well, you might want to know that I do a lot of this for another reason as well. To make up for some of the past where I may have hurt you more than a little sister should. I hope you understand that as well, and know that I want to make everything right between us. Yeah, of course I know that. I'm the one that's relying on you now, so I promise that everything you do won't make me upset or hurt. And I promise that everything you're doing is truly making things right for us. Thank you, Piper. You've made me feel a lot more confident about what needs to be done next then. What? What are you talking about? I have just a few more things to do, and then I'll be over there to see you before the cheers. Then we can talk. You'd better stop all your crap, because I'm coming back in.
No way! I was just about to go and tell Piper that you'd gone back home and wouldn't be here for the wedding.
She's not going to believe any of that to be true, though. I was just asked by her to hurry things up and go see her in a few minutes.
That woman is madly in love with me.
What?
I think that song I sung for her ensnared her in my line, and I'm going to reel her in by the end of the day without her ever getting off it. That's the reason why she's always been following me around, Riley. She can't get away. She doesn't want to get away. And that's just what I want from her as well. She's very convenient to me, so I need to make sure she's always at my side and on my side.
Convenient?
She listens to everything I tell her, and she never does anything crazy when it comes to being my partner, so I'm not going to lose any of my fans over her. She's the perfect woman for me to be with, and I'm not letting her go. And you want to know what makes her the best woman of all? The most convenient woman of all? When I told her I wanted this wedding, she went right ahead and did every single thing for me in terms of getting it prepared. And the best part of all? I didn't have to pay a single dime. This is all amazing for me.
I see. So that's what she is to you.
And to top things all off, she happens to have friends in the music business. Honestly, I have to say that she's the perfect tool for me to use. So until I've made it big in the music world, she's going to stay at my side.
What is all of this, Damian? Acting like you can just use her like that?
Once I've become a star, I won't have any use for her anymore. I'll make sure to get rid of her then, and you can have her back as your sister. I wouldn't want her to be left on the streets after I'm done with her. Littering is bad for the environment, so would you please make sure to be there to dispose of her properly?
I really don't know what else to say about any of that.
And that's totally okay with me. You staying quiet really helps me stay focused. I have a lot of things going on in my life, And you being around me yapping all the time is not going to help. So, get any final words off your chest now if you have any. My time for you is dwindling.
So is the person you've been waiting for come yet?
Nope, not yet. I'm sure they're far more busy than I am right now. They might not make it here until after the wedding has already started.
What will you do if that's the case?
I'll just have the wedding put on hold and wait until they arrive. I can't have the wedding start before that famous music producer has arrived.
So you are really looking to get on that producer's good side then?
Well, of course I am. To me, that producer is one of the few people in my life that can change my life for the better.
I see. Well, luckily there is still some time before the wedding gets underway, right?
That's right. But what does any of that matter to you? This wedding, and whatever else goes on here, has nothing to do with you. And once it's over, you won't have anything to do with your sister and I. I'm going to tell your sister that she and I are cutting ties with you for good. Ha 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 ha!
Go right ahead and tell her that. I really do plan on things after the wedding being completely and utterly over between us.
What's all that about? Are you finally coming around to see that we don't want you around us? I'm being serious when I say that I don't want your butt around us ever again.
Well, we'll just have to see how things play out then today. You might end up taking those words back. The wedding still isn't started yet, right?
You're still going on about things like that? I'm sure you can tell by the time that it's not quite started yet.
Really? Well, if it hasn't quite started yet, then there's still time. Also, this is going to be the last time I bother you.
What's going on with you? You're not going to be allowed to see this wedding, you freak!
I'm not talking about coming to see your wedding. To you, today is supposed to be that huge turning point in your life, right?
That's right. I'm sure you understand that after all the times I've had to explain that to you now.
But before that's able to happen for you, there is something that must be done.
What do you mean? Something else needs to be done?
You're going to need to be taken into custody by the police.
The police? What the hell are you going on about now?
Well, I was kicked to the ground today by a man, right? And I ended up getting hurt in the process of it. That makes for a pretty good case when it comes to both the police and the court. So I've made sure to have them get involved as soon as possible, and that also means you having to be taken away by the police.
What are you talking about? All I did was push you a little, and you fell to the ground softly, right?
You think that's all you did to me, Damian? You kicking me to the ground like that resulted in me getting injured. I don't think your bullcrap reasoning for it is going to fly with the police or in court either.
Hold on. You're getting way too far ahead of yourself right now. I have a lot going on today, and this wedding is one of the most important moments of my life. You can't just take this moment away from me.
I don't care about your important moments. I'm going to get in touch with a lawyer over what's happened to me today, and then I'll make sure that the next place I'm seeing you is in the courthouse. As of right now, though, I'm going to be reporting what's happened to the police. Do you want to tell them about what you have to say? How right now is an important moment in your life, so they can't take you away for assaulting me? Maybe they will actually listen to you and let you go. Tell them that today is your turning point and that it is not to be messed with by anyone, which is very much true. Today is a major turning point in your life, but not for the better.
Who do you think is even going to believe what you tell them about us?
What was that? My hands and arms are covered in scrapes right now, so I'm pretty sure it's not hard to prove what happened.
I think it will be, though. Everyone is going to think that you just fell down and got all those scrapes. You are a clumsy idiot, after all.
This doesn't have to do with me being clumsy to people or not. All I have to do is say that I was kicked to the ground by you, and the police will have to take action.
But nobody's going to believe such a weak claim as that. So just shut the hell up and leave me alone. All you're going to do by telling the police is damaging yourself even more.
Well, to be honest, I'm totally fine with them not believing me.
Huh? Then why were you making such a big deal about it just then? What's going on with you?
I just need for the police to look into what happened a little is all.
Why do you want that?
Well, because at the front of the reception hall where you kicked me to the ground, there's a security camera. When they have a look at the recording on it, they will find out that I am not lying at all and come deal with you, which I'm sure will happen.
What?
So I'm sorry to say, but this is it for your turning point being anything other than bad. Also, you might want to kiss goodbye to your chances of getting married to my sister. You can think up a new plan for yourself becoming a star while sitting over at the county jail for a little while.
Wait! Are you really going to take all of this to the police?
I already said that I would. Why would I lie about doing something like that to you? I'm about to get on the phone with them right now, so would you please stop texting me?
But if you do something like that...
Then you'll be taken into custody, right?
And if that happens, I won't be able to have my wedding to Piper!
Well, of course not. The wedding will be canceled by that point.
Do you think doing something like that to us is okay, though?
I have no other choice now. I was attacked by the groom of that wedding.
But your sister will be affected by all of this as well. Piper won't be able to get wed to me.
That's right. She's a very important member of my family, so this is all for the best.
Well, what about me? Aren't I a part of your family too?
No, you are not. Just a while ago, you were going on about how you don't want to think of me as your little sister, right?
That was just me being I wasn't thinking at the time.
So what? You think I'm just going to forgive you for not thinking? Because you've been doing it all day now, and I'm starting to think you might not have a brain in that head whatsoever.
Do you have any idea how much your sister has been looking forward to this wedding, though?
Oh, I do. I've been talking with her about it leading up to today.
Well then, what the hell are you thinking trying to ruin this wedding for her?
You think you have the right to be saying things like that to me when you're the type of person that can just kick someone to the ground over how they look?
You're her little sister, so don't do something that's going to make her sad!
The only thing that will make her sad is being married to a loser like you.
Don't you say something like that to me! You're just talking from your own ego now!
All right, then. I can see that us talking about this right now isn't going to get anywhere. How about you try talking with my sister and seeing what she thinks about this?
Sure thing. I'll go let her know about what you're trying to do. But let me tell you, she's not going to be favoring you any, because she's already too far on my side. And she's not going to listen to a thing you try and say.
And if that's how things turn out, then I guess there was no helping her.
Piper, something bad has happened.
What's happened?
Your little sister is trying to tear this whole wedding apart.
Huh? What are you talking about?
She just went off the deep end a second ago, telling me about how she won't let me have you as my wife, and then she's going to put a stop to the wedding. If we don't do something about her now, this wedding's going to be canceled. Can you please go tell her to knock all of that off?
That's not going to be a problem, Damian.
What do you mean? Why not?
Because I've already gone and told all the guests that this wedding is being canceled.
Why would you do something like that?
Well, isn't it obvious? I can't get married to a monster that thinks it's okay to make fun of the scar my sister has, and then assaults her in order to get her to leave my wedding.
Wait. Why do you think something like that happened?
I heard all about it from Riley. You are literally the worst man I've known.
Hold on a second. You have this all backwards, Piper. She's lying to you right now. Also that she can get her way of making sure that we don't have our wedding today.
Well, then what was all that stuff you said in those texts you sent to her earlier? Riley showed me that whole conversation. Are you still going to try and tell me that she's been lying to me?
You saw all of that? Wait a sec. I just had to say all of that at the time.
What do you mean you had to say all of that at the time? You're telling me you had no other choice but to tell her to get lost?
But today's a very important day for the two of us, so I wanted her to be as far away as possible from it. For us!
And that's because of the scar she has on her face?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's because of that. This wedding's going to have a lot of people at it who are very important to us. You of all people should know what this wedding means to me.
Oh, cut the crap, Damian. Who the hell do you think you are saying such rude stuff to my sister like that?
Why are you mad at me for that?
You know why I'm mad right now. The man I've been planning to marry has been treating my little sister like she's some kind of monster. You think I'm just going to let that kind of behavior from you keep happening?
Wait a second. Just chill out for me.
You think I can chill out for you right now after seeing all the things you said? Did you know that the reason she has such a huge scar on her face is because of me?
What? Are you kidding me?
I'm not. When I was younger, I had been carrying a kettle filled with boiling hot water. And as she was walking by me, I slipped, spilling all of that hot water onto her face. Her face was a mess that day, and it later ended up being terribly scarred by the burns.
Is that right?
It's because of me that Riley ended up giving up on her dreams of being a music artist.
What? She was making music as well?
She was. Her goal was to become a pro at the time, and she spent every second of her life going towards that goal. But because of what I'd done, that dream of hers vanished. And as of right now, she's working a completely different kind of job.
I never knew about that.
That's why I wanted to be there for you, since you have that same dream that she had. And with the help of Riley, her and I were going to support you in making sure that you had a major debut and everything like that. But now, I'm not so sure you deserve anything like our help.
I made a mistake, all right? I'm sorry for doing something that wasn't exactly as you wanted and caused you to get a little upset with me, but you have to understand that I was doing all of that for our sake.
That has nothing to do with anything right now. I will not take you making fun of my little sister's face as a way of protecting us. That's why this wedding is over with, Damian. Riley is already talking with the police right now, I believe, so you're going to be taken into custody by them after all this. Give it up with those weak lies you keep trying to make up and just come forward about everything you've done to her. Now, I'm busy with a lot of things. Good luck with whatever awaits you next.
For crying out loud. Right now she's not bothering to read any more of my goddamn texts!
Do you understand your position now? Piper is not on your side in any of this, so you're on your own now.
Well, it's not like I really needed to have the wedding with her anyway.
Is that so? I guess you didn't need to make such a big deal about me being there or not after all.
Well, I suppose that's so. This wedding was only about me meeting that music producer anyway, so I couldn't care less about it being canceled.
Oh, is that so? But I'm sure once they hear about you, they might not want to come see you after all, right?
They won't have to know anything about me. As long as I keep my composure and make myself look like the star I'm meant to be, then they'll never suspect what I did to you as being true. I sure am lucky they didn't arrive while everything between you and I was going down. Looks like God isn't going to look away from me just yet.
I'm not so sure about that. I believe that God took his eyes off you long ago and no longer cares about your future.
Huh? What are you going on about now?
I'm going on about that music producer you keep waiting to meet with. They've already been at the wedding for a while now.
What are you trying to get at?
I'm trying to say that the music producer you've been waiting for has been around you for a while now. But for the past hour or so, they haven't been able to get back into the building.
You're lying, right? There's no way that's possible.
I am very sorry to be bursting your bubble like that, but what I'm saying is the truth. I am the music producer that you've been waiting to meet with today, Damian.
What? But I never heard anything about you being the producer from Piper.
Really? So Piper never told you anything about this?
What? When you gave up on becoming a pro artist, did you instead go towards becoming a very famous music producer?
You must have learned about that from her today, then.
So that's what she meant by me getting both hers and your support?
And I was really looking forward to coming and seeing what you were all about today as an artist.
No, wait. There must have been some miscommunication here.
Miscommunication? You're telling me you making fun of my face and literally kicking me to the ground in order to get me to leave was a miscommunication? Do you mind if I have a bit of your time to tell you something?
About all of this?
Now, hold on there, Damian. You might not have the time to listen to me, but that goes both ways then. I'm not wasting my time sitting here listening to you make up excuses for your actions.
Well then, before you tell me whatever else you have to say, can you listen to my song for you? I have a lot of confidence in it blowing you away, and you might even be willing to forget about what happened before then.
No, I'm not listening to it. No matter how good your music might actually be, you're not the kind of person I'm willing to produce for. You don't seem to have the same views as I do, so things will never work out. Unlike you, I happen to hate using people without giving them something in return. And I also really hate those who judge people's appearances alone.
But my music is different from my personality.
And it might just be, but your personality is far too abrasive for me to work with. Honestly, it's too abrasive for anyone to want to work with.
Crap. Piper, I'm so sorry about so many things, alright? All of the talks about me getting that major debut are over with, and I'm going to end up becoming nothing now. What am I supposed to do with myself now?
What do you want from me?
I'm sure what I have to say is going to cause even more problems for you, but I'd like for you to think about all of this again and come back to me.
You really think I want to go back to you?
But I've changed.
Really? You've changed that quickly? I don't believe you. Not after all the things you said about my sister and I.
Hey, Piper, please. Are you really okay with all that's going to happen here? Are you really going to be able to go up to everyone and explain the reasoning for why this wedding is being canceled? People might start to suspect other things, and terrible rumors will begin to form about us. There'll be people that come out of this thinking you're the problem. I don't want people to start thinking about you, because you mean far too much to me. So at the very least, let's have this wedding.
No, thank you. I'm going with Riley to the police. Then there will be nothing left for you to do.
Hey, are you being serious about all that?
I sure am. There's no reason to us having a wedding anymore, as all the love I had for you is gone now.
What do you mean all that love is gone?
I'm saying that the flame that I had in my heart for you before is now cold, and I no longer want to be married to you.
You don't want to marry me?
You think I want to have a wedding with someone that I don't even want to marry anymore? That's why the wedding is canceled, Damian.
What's going to happen then? You already used a lot of money paying for this whole wedding. If you cancel it now, then you'll have to pay for the rest of the wedding anyway. Think all of this through, please.
Oh, don't worry yourself about any of that. This wedding was all put on by Riley.
What did you say?
The only way I was able to get her to help me was by saying you didn't have any money at the moment to pay for the wedding. I told her that by putting this wedding on for us, she'd have a chance at getting herself another artist to work with, and that was what settled things. Of course, she's going to have to pay for this wedding and the cancellation fees and all, but that money won't be coming out of her pockets. It'll all be coming from you once she's taken it.
What the fuck? Why is she going to get any money from me?
You know very well why, Damian. You are the reason for this wedding being canceled, and now you're going to have to pay her the money she's wasted on it. Had you just acted like a responsible human being, none of this would have had to happen. And then you and I could have happily had the wedding.
And I'm sure that's the case.
Now I'm heading to the police station with Riley.
Are you really going to do this to us, Piper?
Shut the hell up. Just be quiet and wait for me to get back with you later. Ugh, thank goodness we were able to settle all of that for now. What ended up happening to Damian? He was taken away by the police, finally. I see. I'm so sorry that you had to end up being wrapped into all his craziness today. The fact that you had to get hurt as well because of him, it makes me feel even worse for you. I'm sure you're going to hate me even more now, right? Hey, I told you to stop it with that kind of attitude. I don't have anything against you about the past, and what happened today wasn't your fault. But I was the reason you gave up on your dreams of becoming a music artist, right? You have to still have feelings against me for that. Well, you're not wrong about you being the reason for it, but I'm not holding anything against you for that. Right now, the job I have as a music producer is a lot more fitting for myself, I think. What? I find it way too much fun being in charge of supporting others in their dreams of becoming huge artists in the future. So you really don't have to worry about me anymore, as I'm doing just fine where I'm at now. All right. Thank you for saying that. And as for right now, you're the one who's going through a lot more trouble, right? Your marriage ended up never coming to fruition. That's true. But I think it's better that things ended up the way they did today between us. What do you mean? Well, I wanted to hurry up and show you the kind of person I'd become today. And a part of that was by getting married to someone in order to show that your older sister was doing fine for herself. I kind of forced myself to look for someone who I could get married to quickly, and that landed me with Damian. I see. But hey, you don't have to rush things like marriage when it means you might end up with a man as bad as him. I see that now. Sorry. Don't apologize for it. Just make sure that the next guy you try marrying doesn't end up being an idiot like Damon is. After that, due to the things we had told the police about Damian, he was taken into custody by them and held at the county jail for questioning. Because of that, his image in the area was tarnished, and he would no longer become the artist he had been dreaming of. And that dream of ever getting a big debut with me was crushed by my hands. After being taken to court and told to pay me for the wedding and injuries I sustained, it was found that he didn't have the money to do so. He scrambled around asking friends and family to lend him money to help pay me. But due to the fact that he was in this position due to his violence, nobody dared work with him. And this led to him never being able to borrow any money from anyone he knew. As of right now, he's begun working 3 jobs and is trying his best to save up all the money he needs to pay me for the settlement I've asked for. And during this time, he's tried again and again to get back in touch with Piper about getting back together with her. But each and every time, she ignores him after giving a big no.
Hey, Kelly, do you have a second?
What? I'm busy right now. I'm watching anime. Is there a problem?
You're always watching anime or playing games or something. It's something important. Can you please listen to me?
So what? You're seriously such a drag.
It's about your manners while we eat. Marcus copies you. I really wish you'd change a little bit.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Marcus is 3 years old right now. It's important that he eats a lot to get his nutrients. That's why I want to teach him the correct way to eat, with the right manners and such.
I see. Good luck. I think it's all in vain, though.
What do you mean?
That's just your ego talking as a parent. Just because you teach him how to eat with manners now, who knows what kind of behavior he'll have in the future.
Okay, that may be so, but I'd still rather him at least have a foundation he can work off for now.
So what is it? Something important you wanted to talk about? I don't think that has anything to do with me. If you want to teach him yourself. Just because I live with you doesn't mean I have to do anything with Marcus.
I want you to help me out. I want you to help me out, Kelly.
What? Help you out? It's your own damn child. Raise it your damn self. Trying to ask other people for help? You're way too spoiled, I think.
That's not what I mean. I just don't want you to do the things that we are actively telling him not to do.
What the hell? Why do I have to be careful in my own home? I shouldn't have to hold back on my own actions.
I understand how you feel, but Marcus stops eating dinner when he eats his snacks past 3 p.m. I make sure that he only has 1 snack a day. And you're eating his snacks, aren't you, Kelly? Every time I go buy things for him, you eat them all up before he ever got a chance to get at them. He's pretty upset about that. You always eat right before dinner, too. He was crying the other day because he thought it was unfair that you were the only one that was able to eat before dinner and ate all the snacks.
So what? What's wrong with eating what's available to me at my own parents' house? I'm a grown adult. I get to eat what I want to eat when I want to. Just teach him that he can eat what he wants when he wants once he's older.
I don't think that's the problem. We don't eat any, and Mom and them don't either.
It's totally up to me if I want to eat or not.
Even while we eat, you said that he eats too slow. So you started stealing and taking things off his plate that he likes. I really wish you'd stop that. He is literally 3 years old. He can't eat at the same speed as an adult. I feel bad for him.
It's his fault for not touching it at all. I thought maybe he didn't like it, so he left it. He should have just said something on the spot.
You should understand that. Arguing in front of your own child is not good. And didn't my husband tell you something?
Yeah, he might have said something. I wasn't listening though. But how does that have to do with me? I was just a little confused. I have no reason that I should be listening to you complain. It's literally my own home. I should be able to do what I want. And if you don't like it, just leave. And take your stupid kid with you.
Huh? That's really taking it too far.
I lived in my house for the longest time. Suddenly, some random person showed up out of nowhere. That's how I feel. Invaded. Do you understand?
I mean, that's true, but we've already been living together for over a year. Sometimes my husband talks to you, but you never seem to change your behavior. So I decided I would talk to you myself. This isn't good for Marcus either. I don't like seeing Marcus being that upset. It's literally every day that he seems angry.
It's not every day. Besides, my mom also said that when you're not around because of work, I'm looking after your little brat. You don't feel like you owe me at all? You should probably start to think about all the implications.
I know that Mom looks after him, but she was the one that wanted us to live with her to begin with. If you think that's the case, maybe you should start taking care of the house too? Right now, it's just Mom and I doing everything.
What? Why the hell should I help? The married and wife should do that normally. You shouldn't be putting so much pressure on my mom. You need to work harder. You use work as an excuse. You shouldn't be skimping on the chores around the house. And you better work harder to not cause any problems. You don't even cook well enough. I'm sure that's part of the reason that Marcus doesn't eat faster. You're really just this useless wife. And I think everyone talks about you when they mention married and wife problems. You really do come off as a useless mother.
You're really going to go that far? You're right, probably. To you, Kelly, you don't even have any job to use as an excuse.
Huh?
You're past 30 with no job. You literally just stay at home watching games or watch anime. Before we started living together with you, Mom was taking care of all the chores all on her own, even taking care of Dad. Apparently you never helped out around that part too, right?
Who wants to be taken care of by their own daughter? That's why I just left it alone. If he wanted me to help him out, I would have. No matter the case, though, it has nothing to do with you. It's family talk and family business.
Actually, I started living with you guys to help me take care of your father. So it has something to do with me. Even after Dad passed away, I ended up going back to work, but that's besides the point.
It's so annoying having to live with someone who's such a drag.
You know, I really agree with you. That's why I was talking to your mother.
About what?
We're going to be selling your house.
House? Sell? What?
The house that we're all currently living in together, we're going to be selling it.
What do you mean? You're going to move? It's just going to be you guys leaving, right?
That's not what I mean. We're going to be selling the house entirely. So you'll have to find a new place to live too.
What? I don't understand. What about Mom? What about your stupid little family?
We're all going to be moving together. We're going to be buying a house and everything.
What are you talking about? It's Mom's house. You can't do that. We take such great care of Marcus. Are you going to abandon Mom still? You're seriously the worst person.
I'm not going to abandon her. I told you, we're all going to move. Everyone except you.
Huh? Mom too?
Yeah. The old house is getting too old anyway. Mom is getting a little too old too.
When did you decide on that?
After Dad passed away, we had a bunch of savings and insurance money. So she said she would help us out for the new house. I'm actually really being helped by Mom, so we're all planning on moving together.
What about me?
Yeah, about that. If I talked to you and you even showed a sliver of remorse, we were considering maybe moving with you. But even when my husband talks to you, and even when I talk to you, it seems like it never works, which means that we don't need to do anything. We have no obligation to help you out.
What the hell do you mean?
Mom is also saying that she's at her limit. She doesn't like seeing her daughter bullying her grandchild. She says it makes her wince every time she sees it. Even when we weren't around, you were bullying Marcus, right? Mom would tell you to stop several times, but you just never stopped until Marcus cried. We're also going to give up on you. You're a lost cause to us.
A lost cause? You can't just abandon me.
Can you leave the house by the end of the month?
Huh?
We have to get everything ready. I would really appreciate it if you started even a day earlier.
Where am I supposed to go?
I don't know. I don't mind lending you the initial fees that you need, but make sure that you work and give it back.
What do you mean initial fees?
The initial fees you need to rent a home?
You need to pay money for renting a home other than the monthly rent?
Of course you do. You've lived at home for 33 years. I guess you'll struggle a bit from now on, but make sure you keep at it.
Wait, hang on a second. You can't do this to me. I've never worked at all. I can't just go outside and work like that out of the blue.
Then use your amazingly lovely computer to find a way to make money using that. You can just Google anything anyway. Whatever, we're done with you. We are no longer going to take care of it.
What time will you be home? I want to talk about what's going to happen from now on.
There's nothing to talk about anymore. We've all taken PTO and we're taking a long break. Mom is with us and we're all taking a break on a cruise.
What? What about me? Why didn't you invite me?
Why don't you just eat the snacks that we left at home? No one is going to buy you anything from now on, so you'll have to buy your own food. First, you should probably lose a little weight so that you can find a part-time job and maybe try to find a uniform that you'll fit in. All right, so that's that. You have until the end of this week to leave the house. Kelly's mother ended up helping Kelly to cover the initial fees to move into a new house for her. I'm sure Kelly thought that if she was cornered, her mom or brother would help her out, or so she thought. But because this jobless 30-something-year-old was mean to Marcus, no one wanted to be kind to her anymore. Afterwards, she lived in a cheap, terrible apartment and started working at a convenience store nearby. Apparently, she's lost almost 20 pounds from work. Because she stopped eating all the snacks when she was over 200 pounds, maybe this was perfect for her considering she needed to lose weight. Hey, good afternoon, Kathleen. How are you doing? Have you finished off the work for today? Wrapped everything up?
Yeah, I have. I've been done for a little while now. Why? Did you need something from me, Sandra?
Oh, just checking up on you to see how you're doing. So, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking me. This is about Mom, right? That's why you're asking me?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You saw right through me. I was really worried about what's going on there after everything, you know.
Oh, thank you so much for your concern. It was definitely shocking for sure, with my mother's passing and whatnot, you know? But I've really bounced back now and I'm doing much better, so... We've already finished cleaning up around the house and everything. Everything's already been sorted and whatnot.
Yeah, so about that, you're gonna be okay with Charles taking over the house? That's not gonna be a problem, right?
Excuse me? Have you not spoken to my brother yet?
Well, actually, he's been going away on business trips for quite some time now. I don't have much time to really sit down and talk to him at all, but I mean, he's the older brother, so that should be the way things go, right?
I mean, that's true, but he's always away on business, just like you said. That's why he didn't really want to bother doing anything with the paperwork and whatnot, so I was going to do all of the paperwork for him to take over all of the inheritance. We already agreed that I would be handling all of that.
Excuse me? Handling all of that? What the hell are you talking about? Why is that already being pushed forward? I didn't even hear about this story at all.
Well, we were all at our mother's funeral. I spoke to my brother and discussed everything with him. You said that you had to be somewhere because you had something to do and to take care of. So you left midway through, which is probably why you didn't notice us talking.
is that what happened? I don't really remember anymore. But I really don't think that you should just sell everything. That's literally the worst idea I've heard in a long time.
Pardon me?
It's literally a really valuable house that's built on great land. Why would you two just get rid of it all? And that brings up the question of, if you are going to get rid of it, who's going to be taking all of the money from the sales? I'm sure you're planning on taking it all and keeping it to yourself, right, Kathleen? That's not gonna fly at all, okay? The eldest son, Charles, is the one that deserves to take all of the money from the house.
I've already spoken to Charles about all of that, you know? Is it alright if you just listen to everything he has to say from now on? I've already settled everything with him and he's already aware and agreed. And just because I take the inheritance doesn't mean that it's all free. It still costs a lot of money in taxes. I literally can't live in that big house all by myself anyway. It's just going to be a waste of money, you know? It's just going to be way too much work paying for taxes every year all alone. That's why we both agreed to sell the house.
I'm never going to let that happen, you understand? I'm going to move from my house, and I'm going to start living in that house. Actually, that was the plan from the get-go anyway, so I don't know why he agreed to that. We're going to be terminating our lease this month anyway.
Wait, what? Hang on. Are you talking about the place that you're living in now?
Yeah, the place you've been before. We were actually coming up on a renewal soon. Next month was the last month of our contract, so...
Okay, and?
And it costs money to renew the contract, you understand? If I just live over there in that house, then I don't need to pay rent, right? It's literally free. That's why I've decided that we need to move out of this dinky little apartment and move into that nice house. So please, just don't go selling the house all on your own like that. You're seriously going to be causing me a headache.
I mean, I'm sorry for causing you a headache, but I really didn't hear anything from my brother about you all coming over here to live in this house.
I just told you a second ago. Literally just now. Is there a problem here, Kathleen? You're starting to annoy me. This shouldn't be an issue to begin with. That house is literally basically Charles's birthright. So I'm gonna be living in that house, you understand? Which means you need to pack your things and get out of that house.
Pardon me? What do you mean?
I mean, I need you to be out of the house by the end of the month. I'm going to be moving in, and I'm going to be bringing Carl with me too.
Have you already spoken to my brother about this? Or was this all decided on your own?
No, I haven't talked to Charles about any of this, but to be fair, he's going to agree with this decision anyway. I mean, come on, he's gotta like having a bigger house. It's better for the kids too. Have you thought about that at all?
Okay, I was planning on leaving anyway, but just because you live here and you don't have to pay for rent doesn't mean that it's going to be any cheaper than it is now. It's still going to cost a lot of money for electricity and whatnot because it's just an older house. That's why I'm staying at this house for now, but I'm going to sell it and get rid of it because it's too outdated to even renovate.
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Just be honest with me for a second, Kathleen. You're just upset and jealous that Charles and I are going to be taking your parents' house, right?
That's not what I'm saying at all. You're seriously going to be hard-pressed living here, Sandra. You really need to talk to my brother about everything because this is starting to get out of hand.
I've already reserved a day for the movers to take all our stuff to that house, so sorry to break it to you, but you're gonna have to leave by the end of the month. If you're that dead set on staying there, then can you be sure to watch Carl for me? If you're okay with watching Carl for me, I'll be okay with you just staying in my house.
I'm sorry to break it to you, Sandra, but the house is already my house. It's not even my parents' home anymore. And we've already found a real estate agent that's willing to put this house up for sale. It's already all been decided and there's no going back now. The fact that you're bringing this up right now, after all this time, kind of makes me think that maybe there's another reason other than you just wanting the house.
It's just a little too expensive for us to have to renew the lease because we don't have too much money. Besides, it's kind of a waste, isn't it? We can just live there for free. To add to all of that, if we didn't have to take care of your mom and all of her needs, I would have lived there way sooner. But now she's gone, so everything is solved.
Are you telling me that you were waiting around for my mom to pass away so you could hijack the house?
I wouldn't go that far, Kathleen, but the house is empty now. Let's just keep it at the whole situation has worked out in everyone's favor, okay? Because I don't want to have to pay for any more rent than I need to.
Why are you struggling that hard on my brother's pay? Isn't he working really hard?
What do you mean?
I know that he goes away on business trips a lot for sure, but I know that he gets compensated for his trips accordingly. If you just live a regular life, you honestly shouldn't even have to worry about anything and be able to save money while you're at it. Why are you in such dire debt to where you can't even renew your lease? I don't understand how you could be struggling that desperately for money.
That, Kathleen, has nothing to do with you at all. You need to mind your own damned business, do you understand me?
You know, Sandra, normally I'd be inclined to agree with you. But this time, you're trying to move into my house without any kind of permission, and you're telling me to leave. So, I want to know what is draining so much money from your house to the point where you can't even renew your lease.
A lot of things cost a lot of money, Kathleen. Things you wouldn't even understand. We have a kid, They can be really expensive. Whatever, if you live with Carl and I, you'll understand what it's like to live with a kid. Maybe then I wouldn't need to explain anything. I feel kind of bad now that you mention it, though, asking you to leave the house immediately. Maybe I can reconsider my whole idea of just kicking you out. If you want to stay with us while we're there, you can stay with us. I'm going to be taking the biggest room of the house, though, just so you know. And you'll have to be taking care of Carl for me, so good luck with that, okay?
I just called my brother and had him check up on everything, but, he said that he was checking his bank account from his phone, and apparently all of his checking accounts are bone dry. Care to explain what's going on, Sandra?
What? His phone? You can check your bank account using your phone without going to the bank?
Yeah, you can check through online banking apps nowadays. How did you not know this? He was just letting you handle all of his finances up until this point. He never really checked his accounts or anything because, he trusted you with his money. But he said that you've been acting way too suspicious recently, so he wanted to check up on everything. What have you been using all of the money on exactly?
I haven't used any of the money, nothing special anyway. Whatever, we're gonna be moving into the home and that's that. You understand and agree to this and there will be no arguing, understand?
Okay, so that means that you will be buying the house and taking it off my hands. Am I correct in my interpretation of what you're suggesting?
Excuse me? What are you talking about, Kathleen? Why are you saying that I'll be buying the house? It's literally my house to begin with, so I can't buy it off of you. I'm not gonna be spending a single penny to buy anything off of you.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but I've already put in all of the paperwork to sell the house to someone. If you want the house that badly, Sandra, you'll have to do it the right way with all the paperwork going through the real estate agent. But to be honest with you, Sandra, I'm not sure about this. This house kind of seems a little too big for you to be living in all alone.
What are you talking about living alone? I'm gonna be living in that house with Charles and Carl. We're all gonna be there. You can actually live there for a short little while if you'd like, Kathleen.
Actually, my brother just told me he has no intention of ever living with you anymore.
What?
I'm telling you that he said that after he gets back from his business trip tomorrow, he's going to be talking to his lawyer about all of this. He apparently intends to be divorcing you, Sandra. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
What are you talking about, Kathleen? He would never keep such an important thing from me. There's absolutely no reason that he would be talking to me through you, especially not about something that important. He hasn't said anything to me about anything either.
I mean, maybe he really wasn't messaging you because he was busy messaging me, but the message that you sent my brother a little while ago, maybe you should recheck who you're sending that to.
What message?
The message you intended to send to your partner that you're having an affair with? You've made a mistake somehow and managed to send it to my brother instead. My brother just sent me this photo a second ago and showed me what he saw. I'm going to be over to your bar again, Kenny. You just hang out there for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to secure the house real soon, too. That's totally talking to someone you're having an affair with, right? There's no real wiggle room there.
I totally made a mistake. Please delete that photo. You really don't need to be sending me anything. You shouldn't be sending me crap like that anyway.
Yeah, okay, whatever. You've really screwed up this time, haven't you? Just so you know, my brother seemed to have his suspicions already. This kind of just nailed the coffin. He was already having you investigated by a private investigator.
Wait, is that true? You're totally lying, right? None of this is real.
So apparently with this whole moving thing, and the fact that you've used up so much money that you don't even have money to renew the apartment lease, I'm pretty sure he was fed up and decided to just get a divorce right away. This was the last straw.
This is all a misunderstanding, don't you get it? I'm literally not having any kind of affair. It's just a bar that I go to often because it's a nice little bar. He just happens to work at that bar, don't you understand?
Oh, come on. Let's be real. It's one of the bartenders that work there, right?
What? I mean, yeah, it is, but if anything, we're more like friends than anything. We get along like friends and nothing more than that. Sure, it was a little more than just as a regular customer, but...
So in other words, you had a bartender sweet talk you and woo you into going back to his bar regularly, right? You don't seem to want to admit that you're just another customer at this bar, but it sounds like you don't want to even admit that you're being fooled and used by this bartender.
I'm not being fooled. What are you talking about, Kathleen? Once we move into that house you're holding on to oh so dearly, we're going to be living together. Eventually, that's the story anyway.
Ah, so that was your real intention. Now it all seems to make sense. And to add to everything, you finally admitted all this.
Wait, hang on just a second, Kathleen.
You can't just delete it now. It's too late for that. I've already sent everything that you sent me to my brother.
What? What the hell? What is it with you siblings and sending everyone and each other screenshots?
Anyway, none of this is relevant to me, like you so kindly said earlier. If you want to buy this house and live in it, you're going to have to go through my real estate guy and his agency to buy it at full price. It's not my brother's at all. I own it outright. The whole house is in my name. And even if it were to belong to my brother somehow, I'm pretty sure he's dead set on getting a divorce, so I don't think it matters anymore anyway. Would you agree with me, Miss Sandra?
What are you talking about, divorce? Charles isn't answering his phone at all. What the hell is going on here?
I don't think he wants to talk to you right now, Sandra. He's probably pretty fed up with you. Anyway, Sandra, we're strangers now. We have nothing to do with each other at all. So if you don't mind, could you stop messaging me or calling me, please?
Please don't be like that, Kathleen. Come on, we're great friends. You could help me out and be the middleman between my husband and I. We were basically sisters, you and I. We were super close.
You leave Carl all alone at night and go out to a bar. Not only that, but you flirt and sleep with the bartender. I definitely don't want someone like that thinking that she's my sister, even if she is an in-law.
I never left him alone at night. I didn't do any of that.
You understand everything is pretty much already figured out, right? And that everything you've been doing can be considered child neglect and abuse? Of course, I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure that my brother will be having full custody of Carl. You just need to be ready to pay for any and all damages you may owe my brother and any child support he's going to be asking of you. I think it's in your best interest to do that right now while you still have a place to stay.
I've already contacted the movers, though. I can't just take it back, right? Ugh, what should I do, Kathleen? I don't know what to do.
How about you just move away then? You're going to be getting a divorce anyway, right? I hope you don't struggle too much to find a new house that you can live all alone in. Alright, goodbye, Sandra. I won't miss you, you selfish ex-sister-in-law. Charles went to the lawyers as soon as he finished his business trip and made it back home. He started on the paperwork and discussions for moving the divorce forward. He was already gathering all of the necessary evidence for the divorce, apparently. Sandra was in a situation where there was no chance in the world that she would be able to talk her way out of this one. After he was easily able to prove that she was guilty of child abuse and neglect, she lost all chances of any parental rights over Carl. Not only that, but she was sued for damages. Charles moved into a brand new house with Carl. Sandra, on the other hand, was unable to move at all because she ran out of money. She went back to her parents' house, but she was eventually chased out of her parents' house as well. Right now, she's living at her part-time job's dorms and trying to pay off all the damages she was ordered by the court to pay off.